Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. I have my co-pilot here, Stella. She'll settle down in a minute. Her job is to purr, and she's got happy feet already, so she's got to do a couple circles here. Did you wake up and see? Oh yes, I was going to sneak and do a reading without you, Stella. She takes her job very seriously. Cat's purr actually raises the vibration to healing energy and can lower blood pressure. Figure it can hurt for all of us out here right now. So the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. The swords in tarot represent the element of air. And this is our thoughts, basically our mental intelligence and discipline of our mind. So this is talking about actually having a bit of a closed mind here. This person is, it's like there's in a struggle here to, they can't find a solution that's satisfactory. And so, they only can think of this or that, and this isn't good, and that's not what they want to do either. But there's never only just this or that, and sometimes it's more like my way or the highway. And we do have the new moon here. We have a new moon tomorrow night, or no, tonight, because I'm going to be posting this for early on April 17th. So it's a new moon in Aries, and it's a new moon. It's a lot of new energy coming in. And this energy is, you can see from her body language, her feet are turned out, and in body language that means that she's leaking energy from both her masculine and feminine side. And she has her arms crossed over her heart. So this says that she's feeling pretty vulnerable and maybe wanting to protect her heart. The decision she has to make might have to do with something, about someone she cares about or someone she loves, or it could be someone that that loves her, basically. And so this energy is the right arm and is holding back the left arm here. And so that your right arm actually represents your logical mind, and your left arm represents your intuition. And so these swords are double-edged swords. So if you use your logic and your intuition together, then you're going to come to creative solutions, and you'll find that there's way more than just two ways to do any job. And so there we go. Are you purring away here? You may not be able to hear my cat purr because I'm using a noise canceling mic, but she's got a pretty good purr going on here. And we do have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is representing, pentacles are, in tarot, are health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional plane. Of course, a big part of that is money, which is why these are represented as coin. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So the Pentacles talk more about lifestyle than just making money. And this is talking about the Most High and the universe are collaborating to bring in a big reward of pentacles for you. This is because you've stayed on your North Star path and are doing a really good job. Here's a reward for you. And then this is talking about the Emperor. So the Emperor is basically, in the minor arcana, there's 4 kings, and the Emperor is in the major arcana. The Emperor has the energy of all 4 of the kings from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And so to become an Emperor in the tarot readings, basically it means that you have been there and done that. You have a lot of life experience. You have, have learned from your mistakes, that kind of energy, stayed on your path. So the Emperor is all about performance, very high level performance. He has his armor on underneath his robe. This is a very masculine energy, alpha male for sure. This is talking about you know, if an opportunity comes up, he's ready at a moment's notice. And if he needs to battle, he will. But most beta males, if they're smart, they don't even attempt to, you know, try and go against him, because they know he'll win. And that's like the energy. So the strength is quality of going inward. This card is representing having the courage to go inward and to face your deepest fears. And quite often those fears do come from our childhood. So this young woman is reaching into this adult male lion's mouth, which would be a very dangerous thing to do. But because this is representing her fears, and so the lion has his tail tucked under it, showing that he is being submissive, because he can tell from her energy she means business. She wants to face all her fears from her childhood and heal them so that she can get into her infinite potential and move forward in her life. It takes a lot of courage to look at your shadow side in that way. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles now. So we have the Emperor, and now we have pre-Empress energy. So this is saying this individual has pretty much all the qualities of the Four Queens in the Minor Arcana. And she's learned, this is the last lesson, basically, I guess, that she has to learn. The Nine of Pentacles represents an energy of having mastered the art of give and take. So understanding how much to invest of yourself, your money, your time, your energy into others and projects, and how much are you going to invest, and then what do you anticipate the return to be? Is it a fair exchange? And so this is talking about Nine of Pentacles is just one away from the most you can have in tarot, which is 10. And this is talking about a ratio. And if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, the genius, he quite often spoke about, you know, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And I feel like that kind of represents this ratio here. She's got her hand on 6 pentacles here, and then she's got 3 behind her. So adding up to 9, this is 2/3 she keeps for herself. She knows that she needs that to be able to run her household, pay her bills, pay for her business expenses, whatever, her traveling, the energy of groceries and everything. So she has a bit of a slush fund for in case something breaks down. And then maybe out of these 3 pentacles, one of them she uses for more risky investments, and that pay off a little bit higher. Maybe another for charity, and perhaps she's saving for a vacation for the family. And so this energy is keeping this in this ratio, and understanding that in life, if you give too much of yourself away, then you won't be able to stand strong to be there like on a continuous basis. So you can't deplete your own energy to look after others and expect to have a long-lasting maintenance of that. You have to look after yourself, and that's talking about your environment. And basically, there's a saying here: the sum of your environment. And so this is saying, you know, she has appreciation for what she has, and she looks after what she has. And so, you know, and her, you know, it's really awesome if you can get your environment in your home to be as orderly as possible. Everything has a place, you know, and you put everything back, then you don't have a big mess. And a decluttered environment declutters the mind, and vice versa. So yeah, this is almost like, so we've got an Emperor here and a pre-Empress energy, and then we have a King of Cups coming in. Now, the King of Cups is talking about someone who is ready to make an offer of love. He has his right foot forward, talking about ready to move forward and deliver this cup of love. He's the most emotionally available of all the kings. He's learned how to control his emotions. He's sitting out here in the middle of a bunch of rough water. And rough water in tarot represents volatile emotions and maybe some chaotic energy in your life. He has learned to be calm, stay in the eye of the storm, and when you know, chaos is around him. And he knows better than to offer this cup of love until he knows it's the timing is right. And he wants to make sure that when he offers this cup of love, it's accepted. And we have and yeah, this is talking about the Wands in tarot represent the element of fire, and they represent having passion and action. So he's ready, but he's just waiting. It feels like maybe the Emperor, sometimes when we have an emperor and empress showing up, the kings will also show up, and they could be someone else, but they also could be talking about how the emperor kind of became the emperor. And so talking about the different qualities that the emperor has, and this would be that, you know, he's steady in love. Someone like if he gives you his word about love, he'll keep it. And this is the energy of launching that passion, I feel. And he's got 8 wands here, and he's ready to let them all go to the target. And but he they have been launched actually, but they're not going to land until the energy is strong enough for them to land. And then we have, sometimes this also can represent conception of a project. Like this energy right now is very supportive of new projects. So this is a really great energy, like for launching anything new and innovative, because we're on that we're on the eve of this new moon energy, and it's really very, very good energy for moving forward in something new, starting a brand new project, or slightly changing things in a project that you already have going that maybe didn't succeed as much as you wanted it to, and you just tweak it a little and then send it back out there in this energy, and maybe it's great. This is kind of this energy coming up here, talking about the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is one of 4 pages in the Minor Tarot. And this is talking about the energy like of communication and information coming in. The pages would work for the king and the queen in the royal court. They would come from the surrounding families, and they would only be like sometimes 7 to 14 years of age. In those days, that was already getting halfway through your lifespan, you know, for a lot of people. So this would be from the more educated families, and they would learn the ropes working in the palace walls. And then when they were older, when they turned 21, if they could afford a horse, they were sometimes given you know, like a knighthood. And so this energy is talking, in the old days this would always be a male, but all of the characters in tarot could, like the kings and the energy of the they can all be, the male figures can be females as well that are in their masculine energy, and the females could be males that are in their feminine energy. And so this is talking about the Page of Swords is the energy. This could be a woman as well then, or someone that's in that youthful energy. It doesn't necessarily mean someone that age, but someone who's in that energy. And this is talking about the Page of Swords. Of course, this is mental intelligence and logic, and also intuition. And he's the only one who's not really focused on his element. And that's because he understands the question already. He knows the logical question, and he's looking away from the logic now, and he wants to find a more intuitive answer so he can have a creative solution. And that means thinking outside the box, basically. And so this is an energy of, sometimes this can represent like this energy of fresh air, where maybe you had an old project and then all of a sudden it's like, aha, I've had an epiphany and this is what I'm going to do. And it really working out really well. This energy is very supportive of that right now. So we do have, I'm building a pyramid here. This bottom line is representing kind of the energy we're working with. And we're now moving into what are the obstacles or the blessings coming in. And we do have an Ace of Cups. So this is saying that definitely this does feel like this is a cup of love. And he does want to launch this. And he does, maybe he's just like, just whoever, this energy, the King of Cups, could represent this Emperor. And it could be that he has his eye on this pre-Empress energy. Doesn't have to be, so we'll see. But this is talking about a peaceful love, like something that's very harmonious, divinely guided. This is having an overflowing, like a fountain almost, of continuous love, that you don't have to worry that you know, it's going to be traitorous or any of that energy. We do have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles represents someone who's very busy, multitasking energy. Multitasking is a really, really good skill to have, especially like if you're a mom. We don't think us moms could ever survive without multitasking. But this is talking about having juggling your energy, basically. And so sometimes this energy can be talking about, in the background we have these waves coming in and they're getting bigger and the ship is getting bigger. And sometimes this can say, like, sometimes when you're really busy, that can gain momentum, and then all of a sudden you're just being busy to be busy. And that kind of energy, sometimes then you end up doing more quantity work than quality, and then you have to repeat what you've done. So it's kind of pointless then. So you have to know when to draw the line and how busy is busy enough. And also can talk about juggling. So this could represent, maybe you have 2 jobs and you're juggling 2 jobs, or you have, you're juggling your home life and your work life, or you're going to school and then you're paying for it by working on the side, that kind of energy. This is saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. We have transition coming in. So this card here, the Death card, a lot of times people get afraid of this card because of the Grim Reaper, but this is really just talking about a transition. It rarely would mean an actual physical transition. It's more about, the death and rebirth cycle. And so decompose and compose. And so we have the Grim Reaper coming into town, and this older person is like, no, we don't want you to come into town. We don't want your change. But these young ones are like, yes, we do. And one of them's even handing him a flower saying, like, we're ready to bloom. We want the new energy. That's the energy you need to be in. Not the old energy, but the new energy, because whether you like the new energy or not, that's the way it is. It's very uncommon, but we have like 6 planets in the sign that moved into Aries in the last few months, and they're big planets like Neptune that takes 14 years. So Neptune's been in Pisces for 14 years, and now it's in Aries. And it's about how you approach business, life, what's your attitude, basically. Are you idealistic? And so there's a very big difference between the Pisces energy and the Aries energy, and we're feeling it. So the same old is not going to work. So it's good that the Grim Reaper's coming into town and, shaking things up a little. The king has been trampled even. And so the king trampled does not mean that an actual king is trampled, but it's representing things, like systems that you thought would never fall. And so you just think, well, that's never going to change. This is always going to be the way it's going to be. And an example of that might even be that you have had a hobby for a long time and you love it and everybody knows you love it. And then one day you just wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. And you're shocked and surprised, and so is everybody else. But sometimes it's just time. And this is also representing light at the end of the tunnel. So both the birthing and the death experience are, there's, a tunnel, and then there's light. From what a lot of people, when you're a baby being born, you come through the tunnel into the light, and when you're transiting to the next realm, you are basically, a lot of people that have had near-death experiences talk about going through the tunnel and seeing the light at the end. So this is talking about, the Two of Wands is talking about someone who is standing at the turret of his castle, and he's overlooking his domain, and he's like, wow, this is someone who's been successful. He's already planted one wand here. And this reminds me of entrepreneur energy, someone that has something that's been very successful, and now he's maybe wanting to take that out there and franchise it, or, set up another location, add to what he already has. He has the globe in his hands here, and that kind of represents the energy of being, I have the world in my hands, but there's only 5,000 people living here. So it's kind of like he knows that he's a big fish in a little pond, and for him to really expand his horizons, he's going to have to set up another location where there's more people, that kind of energy. And it can also represent an energy of wanting to add like someone into your life, and that could represent this cup of love here. we have the Magician. So the Magician is talking about an energetic upgrade. This is the first card that after the Fool in the major arcana, the Fool's at the 0 point, and this is card number 1. This is talking about being able to bring your thoughts into matter, down to earth, to create a beautiful garden. And this is talking about infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond, saying you have all the tools that you need. You need to learn to use the tools and which tool to use for which job. The energy is talking about, if you may have noticed that if you leave your tools laying around in your yard, they don't get up and do the yard work for you. So it's talking about that same kind of energy here. And the Magician is pointing as above, so below. And right now he's pointing to having the strength and the courage to be able to reach this this infinite potential. And what it could be saying is you're going to have these are some people would say these are very trying times on planet Earth right now, for sure. And you're going to have courage and integrity through this to be able to create the magic you want on planet Earth. But so you need to participate. And he's just pointing to how brave that is to, get to quiet your fears and move forward no matter what. Then we have the 10 of Pentacles coming in. So that is the most pentacles that you can have. This is saying, it's raining money. The golden buzzer is buzzed. The confetti's dropping. You have the home and the perfect partner and the 2 dogs and there's children, and you even have time to talk to your neighbor. So this is talking about a really beautiful lifestyle, living a lifestyle that is the best that you can live in a perfectly imperfect world. And look at this. Now the Magician is pointing to the Queen of Cups and to having courage. So I do feel that this is talking about an energy of there's a few things going on here. So this Cup of Love, this could say maybe this person is afraid to. And I feel this is this energy because it's sitting in between. This is what's coming in between the Emperor and the Empress, pre-Empress energy, is she's afraid to love again because maybe she's had a negative experience. And the Magician is saying by going inward and healing that energy, quite often that comes from fears from when you're younger of being abandoned by someone you love or whatever, that you can be the Queen of Cups, and then the King of Cups can offer you this cup of love. Now, so this could be, I feel like this is talking about the journey of the Emperor and the Empress and how she overcomes her fear to be an Empress and get in that energy where she is willing to accept love. And so she can't be an Empress if she's not wanting to have love in her life. This is talking about she needs to have the qualities of all 4 queens. And so the Queen of Cups is the most likely to be in a more traditional marriage. She's her cup is a big cup. It's like a trophy and it has a lid on it because she is known to be unconditionally loving. And someone, like the kind of energy, like a stay-home mom energy that just loves to be with children and looks after the neighbor kids as well as her own, that kind of energy. Someone who is very kind and has that capacity for unconditional love. And the Magician, I feel, is pointing at this because this could also talk about maybe there's some sort of generational curse in your maternal line from your mother's side of the family. There could be some sort of an energy here where maybe you felt like your mom didn't love you for some reason, but so it's some sort of energy like that. Maybe something happened. I'm not sure here what this is about. This could be maybe you were adopted or that kind of energy. We don't really know yet, but maybe it will come up. We have the Wounded Warrior. Yeah, so this is talking about not always feeling loved, like feeling left out. This person, he's landed these 8 wands. So this is really, I feel this is the pre-Empress energy, actually. And like you've managed to land these wands that you're passionate about, but man, it's taken a whole lot of energy out of you. Like it's been a struggle, and you're leaning hard on the ninth one, and there's still one to go kind of energy, and you're like, oh, you know, just feeling the wounded warrior is someone that manages to land the wands, the actions, and you know, plant the seeds and all that, but and they're following their destined path, but it's been a battle for some reason. There's been a lot of adverse energy coming up around them, and this energy is talking that it's this earth angel energy. So the earth angel energy is basically and this is actually a Sagittarius energy, and so is the wand energy here. You think about the centaur who has the bow and arrow and launches them into the sky, into the stars, and then they hit the target. That's the kind of energy we're talking here. And this is talking temperance. So this is having the patience to stay on your destined path and have faith that God has your back, even though sometimes it seems like you're all alone out there. She is pouring her own alchemy into these cups, and then she has her right foot in the universal pond, and her left foot is grounded on earth, and she's already growing beautiful flowers. So this is saying, stay on your destined path, even when you feel like you're like nobody cares, or God doesn't even know that you're there, kind of energy, because this is talking about having like that devotion to being able to, even through the rough times, be able to be there. This can be sometimes an energy of needing to learn certain skills to be in this energy, to be able to attract the Emperor energy, because you need to be at the same vibration for it to be a destined love. And that this is on the way for you, but you're going to just have to keep moving, keep going, and keep working at whatever it is you're working on, because you're doing a really good job, and God is aware and is watching, and you are safe. This is talking about like you have God's protection, basically. And sometimes when we're in this energy, we might feel rejected by a lot of people. And quite often when you feel like you're being rejected, maybe like the odd person out or the black sheep of the family, this is a way that God protects you. So rejection quite often is God's protection. And then we have the King of Swords here now as well. And so the King of Swords energy is talking about the element of air again, and of course it's the mental intelligence and the discipline of mind, your thoughts. So this is someone whose profession is, he would be at the top of his profession, mastered it. And this is someone that uses his intelligence and his words, whether that be written or verbal, to earn his living. This could be politician energy. If it's a politician, like this could actually be a king. It could be it's someone high up, like a prime minister, a president. It could be someone in the Congress, maybe in the Senate. It could be a minister in the federal government in charge of, a larger responsibility. This can also represent the legal profession. So this could be like a Supreme Court judge, or, like someone higher up, a head prosecutor. If this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer that is in a prestigious law firm and probably is a partner. There's also the energy of, it could be a surgeon that's really good, with the sword there. And it could be a best-selling author, maybe someone who is a social media influencer. What else? Someone who's doing research and benefiting the planet that way. Maybe a Nobel Peace Prize winner, that kind of energy. Someone who is an inventor, or research kind of energy. So that energy could also represent the qualities that the Emperor has. So he's got the qualities of the King of Cups and also of the Swords, or these could be different individuals. We have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups energy is representing, eight is, there's only 10 cups. And so this quite often represents romantic love. And it doesn't have to be though, but it's sitting on like this divine love. And it could be like maybe someone was juggling their morals here. And so and it caused a problem here. That, like, we've got 5 cups lined up here really neatly, and then we have 2 in a gap and a 3rd cup. And so sometimes that can represent third-party energy and walking away, that you've walked away from the relationship because of it, or perhaps your partner walked away with the other person. And this is sitting on conception, and I was picking this up at the beginning, that this could represent having been in a position of where someone actually got pregnant outside the marriage, and it's that kind of energy. So maybe your partner is walking away to be with that person, or you're walking away because of it. This is talking about the eclipse season. This is like the kind of major changes that happen during eclipse season. It's kind of typical. And so this energy is talking about walking away from a long-term relationship. And then we have the energy of, a never-ending nightmare. So what was supposed to be, a happy relationship, it has turned into a never-ending nightmare. Perhaps this isn't the first time that this person has walked away from you, or cheated or whatever. And like, this is the anxiety of perhaps you're because this is sitting on the King of Swords. The King of Swords quite often can represent a divorce lawyer. So this energy could be that, going through a divorce or a separation kind of energy, and really feeling like worried about money, and worried about, where are you going from here, and feeling really sad, clearly, if if your partner left with someone else and they're having a baby together. That would be like not a very good feeling. But this is also can represent that there's some energy coming in from the Holy Spirit in the wee hours of the morning to comfort you. And it might come through in a dream, and maybe you're trying to remember the dream because it showed you the consistent steps of action that you can take to be able to straighten this out for yourself, that you deserve to have the love, and you just need to have someone that actually resonates with you. And that the cosmic symbols on this quilt represent that the universe has you covered. And also this can also represent an energy of you need to leave your comfort zone again. You can't just stay in bed and cry for the rest of your life. It's okay to do that for a while, but eventually you have to move forward. Now this is talking about being in an elevated position. So this energy, the 3 of Pentacles, is really good energy. It's saying that you are, people notice you and they can see you're doing really good work. They want to collaborate with you. You're in an elevated position. The problem with this energy sometimes is that, light is being shone on your work. And this might mean that you are someone who has a unique ability, like the beautiful sculpture work that this stonemason is doing. And, it's attracting attention because it is beautiful work. And it could be like the entertainment industry is full of like actors and actresses, like, this kind of energy. Musicians in the music world, and the producers and the directors and everybody wanting to sign you up. This could be like pro sports, or it could be like even being offered scholarships from different teams, like to go to the university or college because you are a talented athlete. And then maybe even taking it to the next level where now you're being approached because the pro teams want you to come and play, and you're deciding which team to go with. And this is saying make sure that that you recognize you're in an elevated position, and that any offers that you sign, that you really look over the contract really well. There are so many people that have been breadcrumbed and end up losing a lot, and losing their creativity and the very gift that attracted everybody in the first place, because they're forced to do it the way that the people they signed up want them to do it. And we're seeing that all over the news right now. And that's like, we knew it was kind of that way, but whoa, it's been pretty disturbing, really, what some of these people have been going through. And so, a lot of this energy sometimes can also represent my secret society card, which could be people that, are signing up, and if they're from a secret society, maybe you don't know it's a secret society. It could be a cult energy. It could be, there's all sorts of secret societies out there. You can go out there and Google it, and you'll find probably 50 of them. And so this energy is talking about being really careful that you're in alignment with the same goals. The thing is about secret societies is the group energy is way more important than any individual. And if you sign up with them, they have their rituals, they have their handshakes, they have their ways of doing things. And even if you don't sign up with them, it can be really hard on you. So you have to really be aware of this energy, and don't sign any contracts or get into any agreements with people who are trying to rush you. Make sure you look into, getting a really good lawyer that understands these contracts so that you have an understanding of what you're getting into. And then we have, so that you're in alignment, so that you have, this is the 10 of Cups, and this is representing, the energy of loving what you do, and loving who you're with, and loving your home, and loving your career and your clients, and all of that kind of energy. Having the best that you can have, the most fulfillment you can have in a perfectly imperfect world. Are you going to have absolute perfection? Probably not, but you might have moments of it. And that's why it's so important, because your lifestyle, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're working 80, let's say you're valedictorian of your class, and a legal firm wants to hire you, but you just got married and you have two little, young baby kind of energy, and they want you to work 80 hours a week. Because a lot of times law firms, to get to partner level, that's what you need to do. And you don't want to do that, because you want to have, there's only a small window when your children are this age. And so, but if you sign that contract, you're going to have to do it. You can't, they make sure you follow, they have their ways of making sure, even if you don't sign up with them, they can make life hard. So make sure that you know what you're signing. Oh, and then look at this, we've got the Empress energy coming in. So it could be some sort of energy here involved with that the pre-Empress energy, she's been in this situation where maybe she was staying on her destined path, and some of the secret society energy came along and wanted her to go down their path, and she said no. And now that they have their ways of making sure that they have their rules and all of that. And if someone signs a contract with them, they take that very seriously. And so just watch what you're doing. Make sure that anyone you sign up for anything, that you're in alignment. They're in alignment with your goals. Because it's really sad when you see that, people who are in the music industry saying, and now they have to do country music, but they want to do rock and roll, and they can't. It's takes something that you really love and just turns it into a job, basically, and that makes it. It takes the fun out of it, basically, and the beautiful gift that you were given was meant to be for you to enjoy. If you sang a song and it was beautiful, would that be enough, or do you have to get paid for it? That's the kind of energy. And so this is talking the Empress energy. She has wheat growing at her feet here. She makes plans. The Empress makes sure that, if she's planning to grow wheat, then she'll look into it and decide, okay, which of the fields is the best one to plant it in? What does the soil need? Does it need to be amended, fertilized in some way? What's going on in that soil? And then also planting at the best time possible. But after that, she lets it go, and she lets the nature take its course. And she doesn't get herself all worked up about it, because she knows she's done her best, and that nature will do its best, and it'll work out whatever it works out. And she has a good track record. And so this is someone who is pregnant with possibility. And again, this energy can represent actual pregnancy. So you're very fertile at this time. So if you don't want a baby, be careful. and this is talking about the star energy. So yes, being on your path to have that fulfillment, signing a contract with one of the teams that is in alignment. Maybe they're in a climate that you like better and it's closer to home. so that you're found, so that you can, if you're traveling, the home games, at least you'd be home and closer to your family, so that maybe your spouse, if you're gone a lot, it will at least have family around to help her raise the children, that kind of energy. So it's not always about the highest paid deal. And this is talking about the star energy, putting your foot in the universal pool of water. And then this energy is, adding your own special qualities and elements to that. There's pouring that out onto planet Earth. This is 5 streams of energy. That energy is representing the 5 points on the pentacles, and this is saying, yes, you followed your North Star, and that's how you became an empress. It's time to shine. And of course, I feel then that this is talking about, how the empress becomes an empress, and how the emperor then, and now we've got the Queen of Pentacles too. So the Queen of Pentacles is someone who's very resourceful. And she's really learned this lesson well. And so this is talking about she prefers quality over quantity. This isn't flashy money. This is like old money, no need for all the designer, the 6 cars in the garage, that kind of energy. She understands that money is a tool and uses it as such, and is able to, very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. And and this turns into then a legacy that you can pass down to your children and children's children. It's generational wealth. And then this is, I feel like, and I feel like when the Emperor and the Empress get together, then we have the, this is the marriage card. So this is talking about being in a position where you have the down payment for the castle, but you got to make the mortgage payment. And then you have maybe someone proposed and you said yes, and now you're working on the wedding, but now you have to work on, after that, on the relationship, so that it is the fulfilling relationship that you want. And we have the Queen of Wands as well now. Is that all of the queens? We have the pre-empress. We don't have the Queen of Swords, but we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Wands. And we do have the pre-Empress energy, which represents that discernment. So the Queen of Cups is actually quite cold, or of Swords is quite cold. So it might just be like she's not cold anymore. She has the discernment without having that edge to her right now. So the Page of Wands is considered to be very sexy and a natural beauty. She's holding that sunflower because it represents that she likes to do what makes her happy. She follows God. She follows the sun. She's on her designated path. This veil behind her is representing the world, the thin veil between spiritual and the 3D matters. This little black cat here is representing, superstition, but she'll have a black cat. She's not worried about it bringing her bad luck. She doesn't believe in bad luck. She's got a very optimistic attitude and comes up with creative solutions, like, a creative solution a minute kind of energy. This is because she has a passion for new discovery. So enjoying the new energy and having passion to do that. I do feel that this is talking about the energy of this pre-Empress energy. And then we have the next card up is being able to be out of that mental prison. So there was some sort of energy here where, this person couldn't see creative solutions. And I feel like this could be talking about this pre-Empress energy. And then when she learned to start using her intuition as well, that brought in this pre-Empress energy. And then, all the other qualities came in. And then, the king of the emperor maybe had his eye on her, and this is representing him wanting to give this cup of love. And this can also represent, this could be a different king, or this a quality that the emperor has as well. Maybe this is someone that helped her to move out of this energy on a professional level of some sort. Maybe helped her get her divorce, who knows? This quite often could be a divorce lawyer. But this is talking about, there was a lot of emotion here. And this is like a mental prison, and it's talking about being duty bound. So feeling like you don't have any way out of a situation without hurting someone or it not being ideal. But these swords are now behind her, and I feel like at one time there was more emotion here, and now she's got her right foot moving forward, and she knows, okay, this is me. I'm moving out of this energy now. I'm using my intuition and my logic, and I'm going to untether myself, and I'm going to step into this energy. I deserve love, basically. It's talking about that kind of energy. So she still has her left foot in a puddle, but she's already taken a step forward. And this is a very shallow puddle. Not saying that her energy or her emotions are shallow, but just saying that there's not as many emotions there as there was before. And so going from the bottom to the top and back down again, we have the energy of this reward coming in of Pentacles, and here it is for the Queen of Cups, which is the King of Cups. I feel this is this pre-Empress energy that turns into the Empress. As soon as the Emperor shows this love for her, I feel like that she starts to blossom. And this is and they're both able to stay on their destined path and have passion doing that together, and through creative solutions, instead of being in this energy, now freeing themselves from that mental prison of overthinking things to the point where you don't know what to do. And this is having like that energy of the creative solutions coming from your logic and your intuition. They get married. And I feel this is talking about the dream that she had was really beneficial. And look at like that. So we have 8 swords here, and this showed 9 different steps. And look at what it happened down here, and then she moved into her star quality here. So we've got the walking away from the old relationship and moving into the new. And it's like a breath of fresh air. The Emperor is a breath of fresh air. That's what this is saying. Someone that she can count on. So that's really awesome. It's a real. We've had a lot of Empress and Emperor energy coming up, and I feel like it's because the energy right now is so ripe. It's challenging, but it's so ripe for new. Like if you can accept that you need to let go of the old ideas of the way you have to do things, or it always has worked for me this way, I'm doing it that way, damn it, my way or the highway. And it's not going to work in these new times. It's like the energy is shifting, and you have to be shift along with it. If you're leaving this reading now, thank you so much for your time and energy. I do appreciate it, and I give it a like and comment if you've received value. It really helps me build my channel. Also, I'm going to clarify now for those of you who want further clarification. Let's see what's going on here. I'm using the cards from my oracle that I'm working on, Tales from the Vector. That's TAILS from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. And the cards that I'm using here have the numbers of the paintings as they're listed in the gallery on that website. I'm going to put them in the order they come up here, and then you can see which, if you want to take a look at which paintings were in the reading. And the description box below is the information with the website. We're beginning with Justice coming in. So Justice is coming in. This is also redemption from karma. And so this is talking, I feel like healing this energy, not just for herself. What are you doing, you silly girl? Are you being silly? Hey? You're supposed to be lowering blood pressure, not running around being a pain in the butt. Yeah. So this is talking about redemption from karma. So a lot of people feel like karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect for your actions or inactions. And so you could have direct karma from like, I did that and now I've got karma. Or it could be indirect, like something that happened with your ancestors possibly. and they didn't have time to clean it up before they left the earth, and it's caused a bunch of karma for the family possibly. And so when you heal yourself, you're also empowering the entire bloodline to also heal. You're setting the tone, setting that energy and putting it into place. So we have the Chariot energy. This is already happening on the spiritual realm, and it's coming into the physical. We have the Strength on the Strength. So this is talking about having that courage and the integrity to really dig deep and be able to face your fears. And then you're doing it for the ancestors as well. So that's a very happy energy. We have denial here. So denial is one of the tactics that we can use on ourselves, where we know something's going on in your previous relationship. Maybe you knew something was going on, but you're in denial. What I don't know won't hurt me, so you just don't look at it. But the truth is, what you don't know can hurt you, and it's, the more knowledge you have, the information equals energy, so it puts you in a position of power. We do have the Magician energy coming in, and so that's saying again that the Magician energy is saying that this is an energetic upgrade for you moving forward. When you face the fears that you have, and one of them being like overcoming the denial, that then you can move into a strong position and move forward in a way. This is there's a karmic space of intent. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You can have good intentions all you want, but if it doesn't, if it's not strong action to take, it's going to bring in karma for you, because you may have noticed sometimes people might have good intentions and it works out really bad. It doesn't work out the way expected. And then we have this energy of deception. Definitely, you when you walked away from a relationship, it was walking away from one where there was deception. It's kiss me good. There was a hex in the city, witches with their broomsticks. So basically, this is, I'm almost wondering if this was someone you were engaged to and weren't married to yet, but you were about to kind of energy, and then found out just in the nick of time. That kind of energy. I don't know why I'm picking up that, but I am. Abuse of power is, another karmic space. So we're all capable of abusing power, especially like if we've never had power. Sometimes it can be really so much that, we don't even know how to handle it. And then sometimes we actually just do it. We have the energy of the need to be right. So the need to be right. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? So that kind of energy, making mountains out of molehills when you don't need to. Taurus energy coming in. This is talking about the give and take, and having done a really good job of learning that here. With the pre-empress energy, and now you're at this energy. Lovers coming in together. So this can talk about the lovers that are coming in as from an energy of a divine partnership, someone that you can, that will be there for you, that you can count on. And then we have the Emperor on top of that, on the Empress and the Star energy. This is talking about this reward is because you've had temperance and you've stayed devoted to your destined journey. So this is a really, really good reading. I love when they come out like this, because it's saying, sometimes it can be really challenging energy out there. And sometimes it feels like the people that are, cutting corners and doing things that are mean and whatever, they seem to be enjoying a better lifestyle. But now we're seeing, like at the top there, how some of those people that have been, what they've been doing with that energy, and it's like, thank goodness. And like, rejection can be God's protection for sure. So I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give it a like and a comment if you have, and consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. I will be back with another daily reading for you tomorrow. Enjoy the new moon tonight. Don't forget to suck that energy and use it wisely. It's really like a very, very beneficial energy for moving forward, if that's what you're wanting to do right now. Bye for now.